Okay, what's up everyone? It is Zombies here again with another team showcase video, this time featuring the last of the new Galarian birds, Articuno. Now personally, Articuno is probably my least favorite of the three new birds, however he's still a really cool and solid mon in his own right, so let's take a little general overview look of the team. One thing I want to mention before that, though, is that Milotic actually ended up on this team by mistake in place of an Alolan Marowak that I had planned for it due to some confusion I had when I was recording for this and another video. So just keep that in mind, that I think he would probably be a better decision for this deck team composition-wise. But the games are still really fun and entertaining, so I didn't really want to scrap them. I may upload a second battle video for this team with the proper layout as I intended later, just to kind of try it out and see how it does compared to this version, and the Pokepaste for both versions of the team will be in the description. Alright, so that aside, we're moving on and we're going to take a look at the team. This is a Trick Room team, trying to make use of some of the strong, slower Pokemon like Spiritomb, Primarina, and potentially Marowak. Even though Pokemon like Articuno and Nihilego have pretty high base speed, we've given them a speed-reducing nature as well as a 0 IV stat in it, so that they can see some benefit from the Trick Room being up as well, even with their higher base speeds. So we have Garchomp back from the Zapdos team video again, because he's just a really solid tank, and Nihilego, who is probably my favorite Ultra Beast and a great Trick Room setter as it turns out. Articuno is acting as our other Trick Room setter, though I've had kind of mixed results with using him as the setter for Trick Room, and from what I've noticed, Nihilego seems to be a much better Trick Room lead. Articuno is still very powerful though, especially when he gets a +2 boost off of either his item or ability. Lastly, we have Milotic, who, like I said before, subbing in for Marowak, and while I love it as a Pokemon, I think having another pure water type on this team kind of puts us at a bit of a heavy disadvantage to Electric, which Marowak would really help circumvent with Lightning Rod. That being said though, it performed well enough in the games that I played with it, but switching Recover for Protect might be favorable if you want to stick with it, since this Milotic was actually a mon I used to use in singles, so it wasn't designed perfectly for this team anyway. But now taking a little overview, let's take a deeper look into the individual moves and EVs of each Pokemon. Alright, first up is Articuno, who we have as one of our possible Trick Room setters, and though we have a more defensive build, he can easily become a sweeper with his weakness policy or his ability to get activated. I've had mixed results with him as the setter for Trick Room though, and it might be worth considering swapping it or Shadow Ball for Protect, since that feels like it might have been useful in the games that I played with it. We have a Sassy nature to help boost our special attack while lowering our speed, and our 0 speed IV should help us benefit from the room being active even with a fairly high base speed stat. So for EVs, we are rocking 252 in HP, 252 in special defense, and 4 in special attack. So we tried to make Articuno a little bulkier. It has some pretty nice natural, specially defensive bulk. So boosting it up and relying on our ability or our weakness policy to kind of get our attack stat more up there, so far it seemed to be working out. Next up is Nihilego, which is a really cool Ultra Beast and is probably my favorite Ultra Beast that has a incredibly unique typing in Rock and Poison. And by holding a Focus Sash, he's guaranteed to get the Trick Room off, pretty much. most of the time at least, unless he gets teamed up on. His moves like Power Gem and Sludge Bomb give us some nice solid type coverage against all the flying and fairy types that are running around, and Ally Switch, I think, usually takes people by surprise and has gotten me a win or two just by throwing off the opponent's suspected attacks. It's especially powerful when you combine it with Focus Sash, because he can just be surviving at 1 HP, and then you can swap him out for one of your other partner mons who's probably at higher HP to kind of prevent them from using their best or most effective move. It's been pretty sweet so far. Also, he has Beast Boost, which is an incredibly powerful ability which can help enable a quick sweep if he gets left alone long enough to get a KO. He also has a high base speed like Articuno, so we're doing the same thing here with 0 IVs and a speed reducing nature with quiet nature. Alright, so let's take a look at the EVs. For EVs, we are rocking 252 in special attack, 244 in HP, and 12 in special defense. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory there. We're just trying to make him a little beefier and also get that special attack stat nice and high, because he packs like quite a surprising punch. Then we have Primarina, who is a surprisingly strong mon that often has its poor speed stat as its main hindrance, but here it actually acts as a benefit for us, with Trick Room. So using Hyper Voice with her Liquid Voice hidden ability changes it so it is a water type attack instead of a normal type attack, and it also gets a boost in damage. So that's really nice for a move that is going to be hitting both opposing Pokemon. We've got Moonblast as just a good, powerful fairy stab move, and then Energy Ball and Ice Beam, rather, for our coverage moves. Energy Ball has been especially relevant in just making sure that Primarina isn't easily walled by other common water types like Tapu Fini. We're also rocking the Life Orb to get that high special attack, and Primarina actually has quite high special attack. So when you combine her with the Trick Room, so she's usually going first or second, then it can get pretty out of hand pretty quickly. So for the EVs, we're rocking 252 in HP, 252 in special attack, and 4 in special defense. And much like with our other mons, even though she does not have a good natural speed stat, we also elected for reducing nature and reducing IVs here as well, just to make sure she gets the full benefit from the Trick Room. Then we have Spiritomb, who is one of my favorite Pokemon from the 4th generation. He is one of our naturally slower mons, so he definitely fits the Trick Room theme perfectly. And much like Nihilego, he can often take people by surprise in running Ally Switch. We are also packing Will-O-Wisp to help neutralize other physical attackers, as well as Foul Play to use opponents' high attack stats against them. Shadow Sneak is nice as well for a priority move to finish off weaker mons if Trick Room isn't up. In the battle video, you'll see I messed up and gave it Pressure instead of Infiltrator. However, I haven't really ran into any screen or sub-users, so it hasn't really been super relevant. For the item, we are rocking the Aguav berry to help heal up a bit when we get lower on health. For EVs, we have 252 in HP, 252 in special defense, and 4 in attack. Since Spiritomb is naturally slow, I think it's basically your call whether you want to actually give him any speed IVs or not. I think it'll be fine either way, just because his speed stat is just so slow that there are very few Pokemon that you have to worry about outspeeding him after the Trick Room is up. However, one that you should be aware of that I do believe is slower is that new Unicorn Ice Pokemon. I did run into that a few times, and he's a very powerful counter to Trick Room, and I might actually try putting him on this team at some point because he seems like he could be very strong. Then, making a return appearance from our last team video is the defensive Garchomp, who is an absolute tank. We've got Iron Head to help counter fairies, EQ and Dragon Claw just for some good general coverage, stab moves, and lastly Rock Slide for additional coverage and some nice little flinch chance if we can get that off. As usual, he is rocking the Assault Vest to help him stay alive against especially offensive threats for longer. We have an Adamant nature to help get some more damage, and Sand Veil gives us a little bit of dodge chance if we manage to get up a Sandstorm. So for the EVs, we have 220 in HP, 180 in defense, and 108 in special defense. Now you could have 0 speed IVs here. I don't think I'd recommend speed reducing nature, but you could try it if you feel it's really necessary. But I think it's been alright having Garchomp at the neutral speed, because while he is fast, it doesn't hurt to have a Pokemon that is a little faster in case, we don't have Trick Room up or the Trick Room goes down and we can't set it back up. So I'm not too concerned about that overall. Lastly, we have the unexpected member of the team in Milotic, who, as I mentioned before, was initially supposed to be an Alolan Marowak when I was planning this team out. However, it still ended up doing an alright job regardless, so we're going to talk about it. The stats on my personal Milotic are a bit off what I would like them to be for a team like this one, so I changed them here and in the Poke Paste. We have Muddy Water to be able to hit both opposing Pokemon, Coil to buff up our defense and accuracy, and Ice Beam for dealing with flying and dragon types. And finally we have Recover to help heal us back up if we take some damage. We are rocking the Leftovers as our item as a way to help gain a little bit of HP back in the end of each turn. Competitive is also a great ability because it gives us a free nasty plot anytime our stats get lowered by something like Intimidate. Alright, so let's look at the EVs here. 252 in HP, 252 in special defense, and 4 in HP. So as you can see, we have quite a few especially defensive mons on this team. Might not be a terrible idea to invest one of them more physically. Maybe even this Milotic could have been a solid physical defender, but it works as a special defender. Like I said, it wasn't initially picked out for the team, so it wasn't really designed to synergize with it in mind, but it's still a solid enough Pokemon if you want to use it. Alright, and we are reaching the end of the video here. So that has been my little team overview for Articuno. Like I mentioned before, I will have both teams with and without Milotic available in the description, in the Poke Paste, and the battle video for this should be going up on Sunday because I have a little surprise video that's going to be different themed for Halloween on Saturday. That should be a lot of fun. So thanks for everyone for watching. I hope you stay tuned for the battle videos that are coming. There'll probably be 2 for this one, as I do want to try out the team with the Alolan Marowak, because I think he would make it a lot stronger potentially, as well as maybe even the new Ice Horse. So we'll see. Those will be coming soon, but thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.